Welcome back to JaCornsCorner Volume 3 by popular demand.
Yeah. Don't let anybody fool you that we didn't just record these after. I mean, what?
Weird. I don't know. Anyway,
So, okay. I think Jacob told me that there was a live action of Monster High. Now, I'm a visual learner. That's how I've always been. So, of course, when he's telling me, I'm probably not, like...
To be fair, when I was telling you, it was me on Wikipedia going, oh yeah, there's like 16 movies, and they're just now making a second one for Gen 3. I don't know if I even said it was live action. I don't even know if I knew it was live action.
So, anyways, to round it all around, I was watching YouTube, and I got an ad, and I was like, this character looks familiar, so I just watched the ad, and at the very end it said Monster High. I'm like, oh my god! They have Monster High on Paramount Plus.
I can't believe it.
I don't have to spend money on it. We have access to it. Let's watch it.
Yeah, so here we are by popular demand.
So yeah, everything's been retconned.
It's a new continuity.
Yeah, I just moved my hands, like people just saw. Why do people do that?
I don't know. Phil was doing that the other night.
He's going all over.
He was. But
all right, you want?
So it starts off with we've changed main characters now. It's no longer about Frankenstein's monster. It's now moved over to the werewolf. And they're...
Oh, sorry. I was already going to step on you. I was like, oh, I'm ready to pounce.
And she's kind of having like an identity crisis. Like, oh man, I don't belong in the human world because I'm half monster.
Well, so she starts off skating. And I'm like... and the person's in a hood. I'm like, do you think it's going to be a girl? You think that... Because that's in my head. I was like, oh, it's going to be like, oh, look at that dude, and then it's like, oh, that's a chick. And then she falls, and then they're like, oh my gosh, she has ears.
Is that a dog?
It's funny, in my head, I think in 2023, I think it's a lot harder to make these types of movies because I think so many people are just accepting that so many people want to fuck a furry that if they see a girl with ears, like bunny ears, cat ears, especially cat ears, you better run. But wolf ears, people be like, oh my god, I can fulfill my fantasy. But they have to make it out. They chase her. So she runs home.
My favorite, though, is just still the dude who's like, was that a dog? Like, what the fuck, dude? That was clearly a person with, like, dog ears.
Oh, my God.
Are you blind? Whatever. So, she's like, okay, well, the humans won't accept me because, part werewolf. My dad fucked a werewolf. Or the werewolf fucked my dad. There's certainly a lot of possibilities here. And, so she gets accepted into Monster High. And Dad's like, oh, well,
they don't like humans.
They don't really like humans over there. And she's like, well, I'm only half human and I got accepted. And he's like, well, okay, pack your bags, we're going. I'm gonna drive you out in the middle of the highway at night.
Well, okay. He was a really nice dad. Let's not get him. He said he gave her a birthday cake because it was like her 15th birthday or something.
It was a birthday cake that he sat on.
And, yeah.
He
said, we'll make a wish. So I guess she wished to go out there.
Yeah. So
otherwise I'd be like, oh, you didn't wish to go out there, so well, you're not accepted.
So in the dead of night, he drops her off in the woods, and she's like, Dad, you found it, and he's like, no, it found you. Anyway, your mom showed me where this was.
I'm a free man now.
and so she goes in this portal, and it starts the musical aspect of this movie. And
I will say, the musicals weren't too bad except for one.
I mean, there was one that was kind of... I didn't understand a single
I'm
word.
glad I forgot the lyrics for that one song. Because I would have broke out in song.
And so while the musical's going, the other main characters, Dracula and Frankenstein's monster, appear, and they're also in the musical, and they sound eerily similar.
Yeah, it was. Because I was sitting there thinking, like, well, they sound, and the Gyp's like, do they sound
like? Did they not switch the vocals?
But I do like that when the only like they kept a couple things of continuity. Oh yeah, by the way, when I was gonna pounce on you earlier, it was they retconned Claude.
Yeah, Claude fucking died in the
So
war.
I mean, It was so funny. Hey, it's Claude and Claudia.
Claudine.
Or Claudine.
Jeez.
Like sardine.
You've seen 4 of these.
I know. I've seen more than probably most people should ever see. But yeah, so they retconned Claude, so he's gone.
But they didn't retcon the fact that Frankenstein's monster is only like 15
Yeah,
days
that's
old.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, so
Actually, they did kind of retcon that because she was 16 days old in the original.
Yeah, so when they come in and sing, she's like, I'm 15 days old.
Yeah, but
and I feel bad for this actress, and I'm gonna say it. She looks like a 30-year-old woman, but it's played by a 22-year-old girl. So I don't know.
The makeup added 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
So after they crap, I don't remember what happens. I know the musical ends and they get shown their rooms, or like the room finds you, or the room picks you. And she starts talking to a wall. She's like, show me where to go. And then the wall next to her opens up. And anyway, all 3 of our protagonists are in the same one-room apartment.
Yeah, and they retconned Frankenstein to be ditzy. She was a little ditzy, but she wasn't as ditzy as what she's in this movie. And then they retconned Dracula, where she's kind of a bitch.
Dracula's like, look, this is my space. That's your space. You stay in your space.
And
I don't want to hang out.
Jacob got up and did the Michael Jordan meme. That's not Dracula. No, I'm just kidding.
Michael Jordan meme.
Yeah, it's a sad face. He's crying. I'm pretty sure it's Michael Jordan.
I don't know the meme.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
If Aaron were here, he could tell me about it.
Man, you just really took all the wind out of my sail.
But yeah, so they're all in same dorm, same room, and
oh, there's another plot point when they're all dancing. Dracula, the dad Dracula, came up and talked to the headless lady, or the lady that can detach her head.
The headmistress.
And he's like, so there's some witchcraft going on here, and we gotta get to the bottom of this because we cannot have witchcraft in our place.
Yeah, for some reason, witchcraft is taboo because it's human-related, I guess. Which is stupid because, I don't know. Scary Godmother would have a word with this. And, yeah, so another thing that's been kind of retconned is Cleopatra the Mummy is no longer dating the Gorgon.
Were they ever dating?
Yeah, they were dating in the first one. Because remember, Frankenstein's monster's like,
oh, yeah.
yeah, that's my boyfriend over there. And she's like, I can't believe it.
I forgot all about that.
And
oh, okay.
The Gorgon's like, look, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm going to be better this year. I'm definitely not going to turn people to stone. Ever, I swear. Also, Fire Guy's there, and then he leaves. So then they go to class, and it's just a dude with horns teaching about how humans are the worst.
Yeah, this class is...
Racism 101.
Jacob and I was thinking in my head, and Jacob leaned over, and he's like, so are they racist? This is like... I was like, they might be...
Because they're talking about how bad humans are, how they're the worst, how they're creepy, how they're awful. I mean, they're not wrong, but...
Yeah, they break out into a dance, and there's one cool scene I'll give it credit where the teacher's walking on the desk, and the kids start moving the desk away, and he's like looking back as they're doing it. That was kind of a cool dance. But yeah, they talked about this guy,
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
who
how the monster shunned him because he was not a true monster, and how the humans shunned him because he was not a cool guy.
Yeah, and they killed him.
And Claudine's like, hey, can I do a report on...
sorry. So she was like, was there a happy ending to Jekyll and Hyde? The teacher's like, no, they killed him. And she's like, oh.
Humans are bad. and she's like, hey, can I do my report on Hyde? And teacher's like, yes, that's very cool.
I want you to say the compliment. I want you to say you're joking this.
So he says something like, those are the magic words that teachers always want to hear. And she's like, I want to learn more or something. And I'm like, those aren't the magic words. The magic words are, how can I get an A on this?
And here's my one. I was thinking, I'm like, Jay has this is the funniest thing because I sat there and in my head the one time I was like, yeah, he's probably excited that she wants to learn. And then as soon as I thought of it, I was like, oh no, Jay was saying the other.
And yeah, so she pretty much just she goes to the library and to find these books, to find Hyde's books, because he just left them there, I guess. But he wrote them in code, and it was just squiggly lines. Anyway, Frankenstein's monster's there, and the best out-of-pocket moment shows up where she's like, yeah, this is quite the pickle, and she's just holding a pickle in a jar.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
Oh, you know what? I didn't get that joke either until you just said it out. Because I thought she just saw a pickle, and she's like, oh, this is quite the pickle.
That's pretty much what it was.
I didn't put two and two together until just now.
Anyway,
I'm way out of touch.
Frankenstein's monster decodes the squiggles because
she has like Einstein, Nutella. I'm just trying to. There's a guy that like is Newton.
Yeah, Newton, not Nutella. That's the stuff.
Wasn't there a famous guy not for the Nutella, but actually his name was like something Nutella. Right in the comments below.
I mean, there's probably a Nutella, but I mean, you might be thinking of Tesla.
Maybe it was Tesla.
But yeah, no. So she actually has part of the brain of some guy who cracked. I think it was the German code, and she's able to just find out what the diary says, and it's like, hey, go to the graveyard. I hid something there. That's where my lab is. And so they sneak out at night to go to the graveyard, and we're both kind of thinking, yeah, the reason why you're not allowed to go to the graveyard is because, it's probably somebody's dorm. It's probably where the zombies would go. But, like, there's only one zombie in there.
It's the ghoul girl.
Yeah, but she actually talks.
Yeah, they really fucked up her character. She has such a great character.
And so they go to the graveyard, and they find Dracula practicing witchcraft. And they're like, "That's really cool, Dracula. Can you help us open the door?"
Yeah, well, they all become friends. They all break out in song. And they're like, "Oh, cool, we're all buddies now."
Yeah, we're not gonna hide our true natures, except we totally will. But hey, open this door for us, Dracula. And Dracula's like, "Okay, well, we need this, we need that, we need all these ingredients."
They need a bone of an ogre, which
they foreshadowed because the headmistress has a
bone,
has a mug that says "I hate Mondays," and it was from Joan of Arc, who died on a Monday, and it was made of pure ogre bone.
And then they need venom.
Snake venom. Didn't matter what kind of snake, just snake venom.
Yeah, so they talked to Deuce, and Jay figured out, he's like, oh.
His name's Deuce because he's Medusa.
Yeah, you tear me down, I'll tear you down. No, I'm just kidding. No, I thought it was funny, though. So they break out a song, and this is the song that's the worst. And I wish I could remember what he starts off. He's like, God, no, I can't do it. But so
it's like yeah.
Yeah, I say yeah. And he's like, nobody ever likes our thing.
Gorgons are very unpopular because we have snakes in our hair. Also, we turn people to stone.
And they always think that I'm sleeping with these glasses on,
which you can see his eyes through.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that's a problem. Whatever.
So they're racist. They hate people with glasses. It's just.
Yeah, anyway, during the musical, she tries to milk his hair, and it doesn't work very well.
And then she's like, hey, I wasn't using you because I really wanted to learn this.
But I was also using you. Can I milk your hair now?
And he's like, okay.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So I think that's all the ingredients that they need.
Yeah, they had to get some mayonnaise, and I guess they just found that. Like, that one stuck out for some reason.
I forgot about the mayonnaise. Yeah, because they walked in, and she's like, there's mayonnaise.
Yeah, I got mayonnaise! And it was like this gross jar.
Yeah.
And so they make this fart cloud potion powder.
Oh, yeah.
And they try to they try to open the door, and it doesn't work because either Dracula's not good at fart clouds.
No, because Jekyll and Hyde didn't like witchcraft.
Yeah, or Hyde was also like kind of a jerk. But yeah, so they go back and they get ratted out by the mummy, and the headmistress is like, "Hey, Dracula is performing witchcraft. That's why the school's falling apart." And I'm like, "Are you sure? It could be because they stole your emblem."
That was good. The Jim got me with that one when he brought it up.
Because that was a big plot point in the roller episode.
Just for warning, Jacob is more of a Monster High fan than I am.
Dang, you caught me.
Keep tearing you down.
So they're like, okay, well, we're going to tell Dad Dracula that daughter Dracula's doing magic or doing witchcraft, and Claudine's like, well, I'm actually the cause of this. I'm going to run away.
So she runs away and they find her like instantly.
Yeah, they find her immediately, and they're like,
she turns back to human. She finds out that
so there's a thing with like half-breeds that if they get stressed, they lose their monster powers, which I feel like should be the opposite way around. But so she realizes, oh, I have a human hand now, and in this handprint in the mud that I just made, that looks a whole lot like that handprint on the door. Now, bear in mind, the only difference in her hand between her human form and her werewolf form is she has longer nails. So they sneak back into the graveyard. She puts her hand on the thing, and through some rigmarole, they find the secret lab. And wouldn't you know, the professor who got all giddy about her learning about Hyde, he shows up. He's like, "Look, I'm also a half monster. My dad was Hyde." And I'm like, doesn't that make you a quarter monster? Like, I don't know. Whatever. And he's like, you don't want to drink that potion to get rid of your human side. So she hands it over to him, and he's like, no, I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink the Ecto Cooler. And he gets really buff, and he steals Dracula's powers, and he's like, neat.
Neat.
And they flashbang him. They lock him in the lab, and they're locked in the crypt. And they're like, so the whole movie, Frankenstein's monster has been trying to make friends using social media, and she only has like 3 contacts, 2 of which are stuck in the crypt with her. So they call up the mummy to get the Gorgon to help out. And all the background characters show up. They get out of the...
Hey, you take that back. All the main characters show up.
Fire Guy is not a main character.
He's a main character in my eyes.
I mean, I guess he was on the cover, but like... So they all show up, and they get out of the crypt. The bad guy gets out of the crypt.
But, you know, okay, this is probably one of my favorite bad guys, because he's so dumb. But he's also funny.
He's a bit of a ham.
He's like, they're like, that door's not gonna hold forever. He's like, right? I mean, I didn't hear it. Jacob's like, you just say right?
Yeah, he's just saying inane bullshit behind the door. He's part of the conversation,
but with like a mile away.
But they're not acknowledging him at all. But yeah, no, he breaks down the door, and now everybody's out, and I'm like, but they got Gorgon Man. He can just turn him to stone. This is a non-issue. Because Hyde's plan is to steal everyone's monster abilities. Because apparently that was just in the potion that he drank. So Gorgon Man shows up, and I'm like, yeah, he's just gonna do the thing. And Hyde's like, nah, I know about that trick. And he closes his eyes, and then he just steals the stone power, and turns Deuce into a stone statue, and it's the goofiest fucking statue.
We're gonna have to find a picture, because it's so terrible. The picture of him, of Clyde, it's Clyde, right? Deuce. Wow.
Claude is dead. He died in the retcon.
Monster Hunter fan. Monster Hunter. Oh my god.
No, I actually hate Monster Hunter. Of all the Monster Hunters is my least favorite.
Monster High fan over here. No, yeah. He has like the most weirdest face like they can make. He just like, I can't do it. We'll find a picture.
He's like doing like a smug. He's being smug.
It's like he just said like a little funny joke. He's like, eh?
and so Claudine's like, okay, well, he can't steal my monster powers if I go full human, so I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Don't know how that works.
I guess I can just do that. And
before I want to bring this joke up because it's probably a funny joke that Frankenstein said. She's like, "Well, you have superpowers that make you weak,
that make you more useless."
I thought that was funny.
And so she uses the selfie feature because earlier in the movie, Frankenstein's monster's like, I don't know who invented selfies, but it's like a camera and a mirror. And that was some foreshadowing that they were going to use it as a mirror to turn him to stone.
I thought, okay, before we move on, I thought how in the Medusa, when they fight Medusa, they always, when they wanted to look at Medusa, they would have a mirror. Like they would be turned around.
I thought they had to use a reflection to fight her because they couldn't look directly at her. But like we're taking some liberties here.
Well, we're not. Monster High is taking.
Yeah, they're taking some liberties here. And so turning him to stone effectively gives Dracula and Deuce their powers back and unpetrifies Deuce for some. I don't know how that one worked.
Yeah,
but.
I also do know that in the TV show, he says, and I quote, "It lasts about a day."
Yeah, it wears off.
So,
but that got retconned.
Yeah, they didn't watch Monster High like we did. They ain't true fans.
And so they go back in, or Claudine's like, "Well, I guess I can't stay here since I'm, human." And like her dad shows up, and they have this touching moment, and then the headmistress comes in and is like, "Your dad's not coming here to take you home.
We're coming to take him home. We're gonna eat him.
We've decided to be less racist." And Dracula Senior's like, "Yes, we will be less racist to the humans, even if they do look delicious."
And they all break out a dance,
and Claudine's dad tries to impress Dracula. Like, they're always dancing next to each other.
Do you want to eat me? Do you want to eat me?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, so we life lessons are always be yourself, and
yeah,
even if you're a werewolf.
Even if you're a racist, be yourself. That's the key takeaway.
Maybe not that much, but...
You hate other races, be yourself. No, don't take that away. Don't cut that out of context. Why is the channel down, guys? Phil calls it. I was trying to watch all Elizabeth's other videos, and there's no channel here anymore. Oh, well, Aaron said something stupid, and the people took it out of context, and then they took the channel down because they said be more racist.
Only be racist if you're a vampire. Maybe not even that.
No. There's probably somebody who identifies as a vampire, which good for you. But
that seems unsanitary.
Good for you. We don't judge here. We're a judge-free zone.
Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the movie.
And then we end with a cliffhanger, which, so if you know, because I think what you were thinking was, so in the TV show they take all the characters, so like Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf are all guys, and then they swap them and they turn them all females.
They do a whole bunch of gender swap.
Well, like Medusa is a female and they swap her to a guy. So Jacob's like, is that?
So we get this crystal ball and some hands, and they're like, they're looking at Dracula, and they're like, "This is the one that will end the vampires." And I'm like, is that supposed to be Van Helsing?
See, okay, you said Van Helsing, and my brain went to who's the Victor? Is it Victor? Oh my God! Come on, help me here. Don't let me struggle. Don't cut me down.
Victor? Are you looking for Victor von Frankenstein?
Am I thinking of that?
I don't know what you're
Who's
thinking.
the guy with the whip? Who's the guys in Smash Bros?
Belmonts.
Yeah, Belmonts. That's what I was thinking it was.
It's not Simon Belmont. Why would it be Simon Belmont?
Why wouldn't it be Simon Belmont?
I don't think he's in public domain yet. Then again, I don't think Konami would notice.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so we got a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Guess what? In a week, or in less than a week, the next one starts on streaming. So
Yeah, so we're excited. We're back by popular demand, hopefully.
I might have to play more of that game for footage.
No. What we'll do is an end talk. I'll talk offline. Because maybe we'll just make the whole picture.
Just Deuce's smug look.
Just have him. We'll edit it to have him looking at like Monster High picture, like, oh, it's back.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.